Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Billy Yeagers, and today we're going to be talking about why you are missing the point when it comes to 139. Now, funny enough, I brought up this movie a few times, but this movie actually shares a little bit of similarity to Tekken, just a little bit, and that would be the 2017 Wonder Woman movie. Now, as most of you remember, this movie takes place during World War I. Very interesting name for a war, right? World War I, implying there's a second one. And Attack on Titan also takes place during the time of World War I. And of course, we know that there's another war after the book is over. And so, the difference between Attack on Titan and Wonder Woman is that they ended very differently. If you recall, I know this was 5 years ago, but if you recall, the ending of Wonder Woman pretty much was everyone celebrating the armistice, right? Which, of course, to the modern viewer, comes off as very strange. Now, in the Wonder Woman universe, it's not as strange because Ares, the god of war, is dead, so it's implied there'll be no more war after Ares is dead. But to the modern viewer, it still is sort of strange because people did celebrate the armistice, but they celebrated in ignorance, some of which died not knowing what would happen later, and some died and some did not. Some lived, and some saw the Second World War. It was originally called, as many of you probably know, in the United Kingdom as the Great War. And it was also dubbed, quote, the war to end all wars, which is deeply ironic and sad nowadays. But Attack on Titan does not end with the armistice. Attack on Titan actually ends the exact opposite. The second to the last page of Attack on Titan is actually war again. Which is weird because why would this end like this? This is not like a usual story ending, especially in the modern age. This is not usually a story ending. You would want your story to be usually happy. And people say, well, Attack on Titan is bittersweet and blah blah blah. But to have the main character's efforts seemingly go to waste, it's almost as if it defeats the purpose of the story. And for those of you who are not of lower intelligence, you knew that the main character's efforts did not go to waste. And I want to explain to you people who haven't gotten caught up yet why the story ended the way the story ended. You are missing the point. Now, here's the thing about Attack on Titan. It's why I brought Wonder Woman at the beginning of the video. It's the thing I was trying to tell you, not to have your happiness correlate to how peaceful your environment is. Okay? So, everyone in Wonder Woman was only happy when the armistice was signed. Again, not knowing that another war would appear. Isayama is trying to say two things. Number one is what I just said. The other thing is that he's not naive. He knows no matter what happens, the cycle of violence will continue. As I'm sure everyone in every corner of this fandom knows. War's inevitable. So, he has to have a happy ending, but still not come off as naive. Now, Wonder Woman achieved this by having the literal god of war die, but since this is not as mystical as Wonder Woman, we still have to take back and say, how can this happen in our own human lives? Because the ending of Wonder Woman doesn't apply to you, because the god of war is still around in the world, and so what can you extrapolate from that? You can't extrapolate from Attack on Titan, because Attack on Titan is more similar to your world. So, he's saying, don't correlate your happiness to peace, because that is fickle. Peace is fickle. Peace is only around for a short period of time, and then it leaves. So you shouldn't be, be all somber and only let yourself celebrate when you have the illusion of peace, because war will start up again. Again, as I said, it's sort of like you're celebrating in ignorance. Now, the next thing is that, as I said beforehand, Isayama is not naive. He wants to make this message applicable. And this is how it goes. And this is more as a metaphor for actual war and just personal struggle and actual war. If you do not find a way to be happy during these times of war, you will barely be happy. And on top of that, all your happiness will be in ignorance. So he's telling you how to do this. This is why the war comes after 137. Because 137 is all about enjoying, trivial things. That's why Arma uses the word trivial, because it looks as if You know, your small time of peace was trivial, as everyone kept saying, oh, it's only 7 years of peace, it's only 7 years of peace, and then it went right back to war, right? It's trivial to them, but it's still important to enjoy those while they still have those, and it's also important to look at moments of happiness while war is ongoing, so you have a permanent supply of happiness. This does not mean you have to be delusional, of course. Everyone, including Armin, knew full well what's happening outside the walls, but he still found a way to be content nonetheless. And so for all those who are saying, oh, the outside world getting destroyed, that's bad for the story, it's really not. It's one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen in the story, actually. As I said so many times, the last 6 pages, they're gold. They don't need anything to fix it. The last 6 pages are absolutely perfect. And if you're, if you're saying that this ruins everything, then you're wrong, because you should not correlate your, personal happiness or your personal sense of freedom to how much conflict there is or isn't in your personal or actual life. Actual meaning your country or whatever. So anyway, this was a short video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys got something out of it. Make sure to share it to all your Titanfolk friends, and I'll see you in my next video.